Alright, so in this video, I want to explore kind of like a metaphor, I suppose. So, this is more so regarding updates, upgrades, all of that stuff. And it's very interesting. This is definitely something that I know that I'm going to have a good talk with my partner regarding. And I'm excited to see how this all unfolds because recently I gained a very important level of insight that is going to radically shift my experiences of life in terms of how I approach people, right? So think about it this way. When you go through a realization or an insight, right? It's basically like an update. It's basically like an upgrade, right? You no longer see things at this level. You now see things at this level, or maybe even higher, depending. And it's so interesting to be here because it's really helping me to see what's necessary for my life moving forward. And that's really cool. To have that level of clarity, to have that level of direction, to have that depth, not just level, but depth of direction. It's really cool. It's really cool. So basically what I'm working on here now is how I approach what I see in people. Because at this point in my life, with everything that I know about people, with everything that I've come to understand about, the way that things have been, and it's also challenging for myself too, because I'm also at a point where I'm like, okay, we need to approach all of this stuff differently, and that level of differently also has to do with how I talk about my life, right? So now I'm at a point where I actually have an affirmation. No, that's part of the old self. Okay, so then what's part of the new self? Oh, these attributes and characteristics. So that in and of itself is transformative in the sense that I am wiring in a new identity, right? An identity based in stuff that the old self will not be a part of, right? So, like, say for instance, the old self, procrastination or waiting until the last minute to do something or to start doing something, right? So now, no, there's only right. So like the old self is procrastination. The old self is putting things off until the last minute. The new self is uh, proactivity, right? And with that comes taking care of things right away. And when you do that, your life shifts, your life transforms. There's no other way for things to evolve. That's just the way that it is. Like, you look at it, for instance, right? If somebody is used to procrastinating, right, they get a very specific experience that comes with the act of procrastinating. That is, okay, the deadline's approaching. Great. Here comes the stress, the familiar stress that has been here this entire time. And it's very interesting because if you're by the way, by the way, when you look at things like procrastination, when you look at things like putting things off until the last minute, this is also based in familiarity regarding trauma. If you are somebody who was, if somebody was raised in chaos, right? And that means that pretty much everything foundationally is unpredictable. You're actually going to seek out chaos. Yeah, you're actually going to seek out chaos, and that's not just in relationships, but that's also in how you approach things, right? Okay, because think about it this way: proactivity, getting things done right away. Yeah, once you start the process and realize, okay, this, that, and the other is necessary, it's going to take this amount of time, and it's going to, it's going to take a week, say for instance. Um, if you were to approach it right away, right, instead of waiting till the last minute and then starting it, you're going to have a very specific experience, and that experience is probably not going to be stressful for starters, and it's probably not going to be as stress if there is any stress at all. It's probably not going to be as stressful as waiting till the last minute. But one of the reasons why the waiting until the last minute occurs is because of that being molded in chaos, right? People actually seek not only seek drama, but if there's no drama being created and they are somebody who was raised in chaos, they will actually go out of their way to create drama. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy what trauma does to people. Okay, yeah, sorry. Low battery warning. So yeah, it's crazy what trauma does to people, and it's crazy how when you become aware of all the stuff and all the patterns, it's crazy how the realization kind of like puts you into like a shift, and then you just start to see everything differently, and then you can move forward productively. Like, you ask anyone, do you enjoy the stress that comes with putting everything until the last minute, right? Most people are going to be like, no, I hate it, right? Then you're going to be like, well, why do you do it? Well, they do it because it's familiar, because it's coming from a place of trauma. It's coming from a place of being raised in chaos, and all right, my body is actually addicted to the hormones of stress, and therefore I'm going to create this in a very specific way so that the outcome is chaos because I'm waiting for the last minute. And then it just kind of like unfolds from there, and you see how it goes. That is a mirror reflection of the trauma, the trauma response, the being raised in chaos, and it's just it's crazy. So yeah, I am doing my own work, and I'm recognizing these different patterns. I'm recognizing how I've approached things and how I'm going, or not only how I'm going to, but how I am already changing things moving forward. It's cool. It's very cool. So yeah, just being very aware of my thought processes, my beliefs, and everything. I'm actually saying to myself, oh nope, that's the old self. What's the new self? Oh, okay, the new self is taking care of things right away. Wonderful. If you have a month to do something, you do not wait until the very last week to do it. When you could have had 4 weeks, instead you give yourself 1 week. Yeah, that's gonna stress you out. It's crazy how this stuff works.